Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today's recipe, these cheesy chicken meat buns. They are delicious and they are very easy to make. They are very soft and fluffy. There are two variants. One is this cheesy one where the cheese literally oozes out of it. The other one has cheese and chicken in it, but it's inside. But before we start, I want to request you to please subscribe to my channel and help my channel to grow. If you are new here, please do not leave without subscribing, and I thank my friends who have been supporting me since very long. So let's start off with the recipe. First, we'll take 500 grams of all-purpose flour. To that we'll add 1 teaspoon of salt and mix it well. Remember to mix your salt very well because yeast is going to follow. But before that, we'll add gluten. This is 1 tablespoon of gluten. If you add gluten to your flour, it'll be easier to knead the flour. Now I'm adding sugar. It's just 1 tablespoon of sugar. We can't add much sugar to it. Mix it, and now we are taking around 10 grams of yeast. I'm using instant yeast. So now let's mix everything together very nicely. Always remember that yeast and salt should never come in contact with each other. Otherwise, your buns will become very heavy. Now I'm adding flavorless oil. It's half a cup of flavorless oil. Make a well in the center. And now we'll start kneading with milk. It's lukewarm milk. I had 2 cups of warm milk. Knead it properly like this. If you have a stand mixer, then it will be easier to knead. You can also use a stand mixer for this. In fact, if you don't have a stand mixer, you can also use a blender. There are hooks on the blender. You can use the hooks of a blender. Now I'm adding some water. I won't be using any more milk. Roll everything together very nicely. And now let's get down to some messy business. Make sure that your countertop is nice and clean. And now we'll start kneading. You should use the bottom of your palm and take it forward and pull it back like this. Take it forward and pull it back. We need strings to develop in our flour. Only then our buns are going to be soft and fluffy. See, you should be able to stretch your flour like this. Roll it over, make it into a circle like this. And after that, we are going to keep it back into the bowl. Just splash a little bit of water on it. Cover it and keep it for 2 to 3 hours, depending on the temperature of your country. In the meantime, we'll prepare our chicken mince. I'm using minced chicken. My chicken mince is frozen. If you are using fresh chicken, then the cooking time will be a little bit longer. You'll have to add some water and cook it for 5 minutes extra. But right now, I'm putting all the mince in my pan. I'll add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of red chili powder, and 1 teaspoon of garam masala powder. If you don't have onion and garlic powder, you can use grated onion and grated garlic. You can season it according to your preference. Now let's mix everything together very nicely and we'll cook it till all the moisture dries up. After that, leave it to cool. After it cools down, we'll add some cheese. I'm grating some mozzarella cheese. You can use any cheese you want to. The cheese that I used was around 200 grams. Now let's go to our flour. It's been resting since 3 hours. Boom, boom, boom. I like to do this. So now let's roll everything together nicely again and we'll start our bun preparation. For that, first sprinkle some flour, dry flour, on your board. Now roll the flour like this. Make it into an oblong shape. Divide it into 2 equal parts and roll it again. Make it into an oblong shape and further divide it into 6 equal parts. You can make any shape you want to, but as long as you are able to make the circles. Here you are. I like to make my circles like this. This is an old-fashioned way. I learned it from my grandmother. Here you are. Now let's make some disc like this. Just roll it between your fingers like this. If you want, you can also use a rolling pin, but I can easily do it with my hands, so I'm using my hands. Now press it like this. Roll it again and add 2 tablespoons of your chicken and cheese mixture. Don't worry, there's plenty of space in there. Add it nicely and then you can fold it back, close it nicely and make it into a circle like this. Prepare all the buns. Make sure to close everything very nicely. Make all the circles. Keep them together. After that, now we'll put a cloth over it and let it rest for half an hour. Make some slits over it like this so that the air passes out. Hot cross buns. Brush it with some egg wash and it's ready to go into the oven. I'll be baking at 180 degrees centigrade. Here you are. Look at it. They are puffing up so beautifully. Bake it for 18 to 20 minutes depending on the temperature of your oven. Get them out of the oven like this and let them cool. But before cooling, apply some butter on it. This will make your buns softer. Thumbs up if you like the recipe. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching. See you later. For the second variant, you have to put in cheese in the holes like this and bake it for 2 minutes.